Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I was just listening to Russell Brand's rant about canceling Joe Rogan. And it's just incredible to me how much airspace and time and energy and focus we've all been putting into who gets canceled, who gets paid attention to, who says the right things, who says the wrong things. What are your values? Because as Jews, we are not supposed to be taking our values from what this person says on Fox or that person says on CNN. Our values are supposed to come from the Torah itself. And in this week's Parsha, the Torah tells us famously, V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham. Make for me a sanctuary and I will dwell with you. And that was the Mishkan, the tabernacle that God commanded the Jewish people to build in the wilderness, was the place that God would speak to Moses. Bein hakruvim, the Torah says, that Moses would go into the Mishkan, into the tabernacle, into the tent of meeting, and there was the ark, and on the ark were these cherub-like images, forms, and God would speak to Moshe, and Moshe would relate that information, and that's, of course, our Torah, our tradition. That's where we learn right and wrong. That's where we know when something is appropriate to be said, something is inappropriate to be said. And we then, I think, can do much better with having friends with whom we disagree, because we know that the Torah is not monolithic. We know that sometimes certain issues the Torah bends very liberal on, and other issues the Torah seems to go very conservative on. But we are approaching things not from a conservative perspective or a liberal perspective, a Fox News or a CNN. We are Jews following our Torah. What does Judaism have to say about this issue? Let's come to a class, let's read a book, let's listen to some more Torah podcasts. Let's get our information from a real spiritual source, from a place higher than people, because people are going to have all their opinions. Our opinion should be based on something greater than ourselves. And I truly believe that if we can be informed by the values and ideals and ideas of Torah Judaism, then that will also enable us to stop canceling people, because we will be able to listen to other points of view and be able to say, I hear you, but from my Torah's perspective, I don't think that's quite in line. That part of what you said is in line, this part is not. And then we can be friends and talk to everyone and anyone, even people with whom we vehemently disagree. I'm not talking about people who make anti-Semitic, disgusting statements. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about individuals that are expressing their legitimate point of view, even if it's ridiculous in your opinion, even if it's ill-informed. We can listen to it and we can know how to handle it if our knowledge and our wisdom and what we believe in is sourced in something greater than ourselves. V'asuli mikdash, God says to the Jewish people, make for me a sanctuary. I'm going to give you this Ark of the Covenant. That's where I'm going to speak to you from, and that's how you're going to learn your values, what's right and wrong, so that you can go out into the world and you can engage the rest of humanity and teach and be a light amongst the nations by having not only your own personal opinion, but a tradition that comes from God that can be used to inspire mankind, humankind, in the right way. Shabbat Shalom.